We're gonna get into framing, lenses, and perspective. And this is where the photography skills come into place, and just understanding how to frame up a scene and how that affects how the viewer feels about it and what you're trying to convey. So I've prepared a couple of examples here of using the same scene. So I have the scene of runners. I just composed this in 3D real quick, and I wanted to show the differences. So right now it's these generic runners, they're in a line and they have just started their race. It's a profile shot, meaning it's from the side. It's knee height, the camera's about knee height, and it's slightly angled up a few degrees. I'm using a 35mm lens, and this is a pretty generic vanilla shot. It's a good establishing shot just to get the lay of the land of what's going on. So taking the same scene, same exact moment, and changing the lens and angle, it drastically changes how we perceive what's going on in the scene. So right now I changed to a 50mm lens. I focused on one of the runners, which now feels like this hero. You know, it feels like it's all about his emotion, his grit, and his determination for this race, where because the other people behind him are smaller in frame, they're out of focus, it feels like they're less important. They're secondary characters, right? So I really want to control the viewer's eye here on this hero. Next, again, same exact scene. I moved the camera all the way down to the floor and I angled it up a little bit. I went ultra wide, which is an 18mm lens, and I wanted to focus on the detail of the start. So I'm imagining that the gun just went off, people are taking off on the race, and it's all about this close-up of how fast these runners' legs start metabolizing and moving, you know, like how soon can they get on action. And it's about this shallow depth of field and the details of their feet and legs taking off. Again, it makes it all about this detail rather than about any specific character in the race. Then one more time, adjusting the camera. Now it's this wide overhead shot with a really long lens. This is a 100mm lens that's pointing straight down at them over the track. As you can see, again, it's all about this shot where it's about all the runners as a whole, who's in the lead, and what's the pace of everybody. Again, just taking all of this same scene and then recomposing the camera, framing the shot very, very differently in different ways, it changed drastically what we're focusing on and how we're feeling in the shots. Does that make sense to you guys, Molly and Erica? Can you guys see the difference between how lenses and framing and angles changed?
Oh yeah, there was a big difference. It's just a normal established thing. You see all the people there, and then close up you get more of a feeling because there's someone in front of you, and it's more intense.
Right.
Because it's right in your face and you're like, oh, right, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a really good observation. Just being able to see all the micro expressions on somebody's face, or maybe like the grip on their hand, or you know, like the tenseness of the muscle on their calf. You know, like all those things are really important if you're trying to convey a certain intensity or a certain feeling, versus the wide establishing shots is just trying to bring you into the space.
Okay, that was really cool, by the way. I thought you moved all the guys, like your talent. You moved them around, but
it's the same 3D scene, and I floated the camera around.
It's amazing what you can do by just changing a camera angle and the lens, and not changing the actual people or things in the scene.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So those are all things I want you guys at home, those of you guys who are putting together style frames for yourself, consider these things, right? If you're looking at your shot, it looks a little boring, or it doesn't have the focus that you want it to, move the camera around, recompose the screen and frame it up differently, and think about the mood and emotion that you're trying to convey in your sequence.